UT's playing Texas A&M, Texas versus Texas A&M, all of the marbles. A&M's in a good position. They're top 3 team in the country. And if they lose, really, they'll still have a spot in the college football playoffs. Now, Texas, on the other hand, tough loss to Georgia the previous week, but there's a chance they can get frisky, win this game, and make it into the playoffs. I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling excited, especially if they play to their potential. But how are you feeling?
A&M's legit, and I gotta admit, it pains me to say that, but they are legit. They're a very good football team. I'm happy for them and for their largely obnoxious fan base, but they're legit. I don't see UT walking away and winning that game, but it's a rivalry game, and you never know. Texas has not lived up to the expectations. Everybody on the planet knows that. And I hate to sound like an Aggie, but next year, baby, next year we're going to be good. Arch has really improved his craft, and I think once we get some missing pieces. But in terms of this game, who knows? And if A&M wins, God bless them. They probably deserve to win. They're going to the playoffs regardless. I'm not so sure, Aaron, that UT deserves to get in, even if we beat A&M like a redheaded stepchild. I'm not sure we deserve to get in with 3 losses, particularly the one at Florida, in other words, but I'll take it if we get in.
Well, listen, the sooner win, it gets more powerful over time because they keep winning and they look good. So that's a strong win. And then, they did look against the Razorbacks are not as good this year, but it's a frisky team and they put them away pretty handedly. And Arch played, I thought, his best game of the season. The Bulldog win was just, the loss to Georgia was, we were at McCool's Ranch and Tommy was passed out after crashing the bike.
He seriously bruised his ego. It was a bad crash.
He bruised his ego, so he passed out, and man, you were livid during that game. I thought you were going to scare him out of his slumber.
I'm not pleasant to be around when UT's winning or losing a game. I'm not that pleasant to be around, frankly, when they're winning, but I'm a bad fan. I call Aggies bad fans. But I'm certainly one. But we will not go into the Thanksgiving holiday without observing at least a few good Aggie jokes, right?
Yeah, talk to us. You got some jokes?
Sure. So the Aggie woman tells her Aggie boyfriend that she wants him to kiss her where it's moist and it's hot and it smells a little different. So what did he do? He drove her to Beaumont. So what's the definition of an Aggie menage a trois? To watch. What does an Aggie do immediately after sex?
What do they do after
Well, first, he finishes the autopsy, and then he realizes that one mistake does not make you a bad vet. So it's just what they do after sex. So you heard about the Aggie when he was first learning about the Civil Rights Bill and what his reaction was, right?
What was it? Do you know?
Yeah. He said, well, if we owe it, we ought to pay it.
Man, they just can't get it. Even when they're playing well and they have this great season, it's like they're always on the defense. I feel like they're always the butt of the jokes. What is it about the time that you've kind of been on this blessed earth, Dan, that gets the Aggies so triggered? Even these jokes is like our comment section's about to go crazy.
This will get 1 million views and 98% will tell me. The funniest thing, when I posted about, how unbearable Aggie fans were, I bet I had 100 DMs on my personal account or text messages saying, we're good fans. Like, you're kind of making my point when you feel like you have to. But look, they're little brother. I don't, we were here before they were. We were a larger institution for years and years. They are a great school, and I don't say that anecdotally or dismissively, but we're big brother, they're little brother. We've won far more times against them than they've won against us. They have a great tradition. Some of their traditions are, frankly, I don't understand them. The
drinking the ring.
Yeah, but look, they're a great school. They got a great law school, but you got to keep the rivalry up. That's the whole point of it. I can't let off the gas, even though they might whip our ass. I can't let off the gas before the Friday after Thanksgiving. And I don't care what the Aggies say, and I don't care what the Longhorns or the T-Sips say. I miss that rivalry game. We didn't have it for 10 years, and it's a great reason to throw the stuffing across the table on Thanksgiving Day and the like. So it's a good time.
It's whenever A&M left for the SEC and that rivalry kind of went away for a little bit, I was a little bit sad about that too. I've been a Longhorn fan all my life. There's something about just, the Capital. I don't know what it is. We went to Austin College, which has no affiliation at all. But I remember when I was getting recruited by the basketball coach, I thought it was in Austin, and that's really what got me excited to go to it. But it's in Sherman, Texas, so I was bamboozled. But the Vince Young Longhorns and that USC Texas game was one of probably my favorite college football game of all time, and my favorite team of all time. I was also a big Ricky Williams fan, so
Represented Ricky.
Did you represent Ricky?
I did. Represented Ricky. You will never guess what he was charged with. Not in a million years.
Wait. When did you represent? Like which time was it? I guess
probably 4 or 5 years ago.
This is more recent.
Okay. And I know this is hard to believe, but he was charged with possession of marijuana. He was driving through Fort Bend County, which is a suburb of Harris County, and his real name is Eric Lynn Williams. Okay. And at this point in time, Ricky had shaved his head, so he didn't have the trademark dreads.
Yeah.
And so he gets pulled over. The police officer sees this guy with a shaved head, and his name is Eric Lynn Williams. Maybe he was an Aggie. I don't know. One thing doesn't lead to another. And he got stuffed and cuffed, and we got the case dismissed. Gracious guy, lovely guy. The surprising thing to me, but I've seen the 30 for 30 about him and all that. Very soft-spoken, very mild-mannered. I mean, just not, who was the dude that played for the Cowboys that wore the mink into the courthouse? And
Dion.
No, not Dion. He was charged with possession of cocaine. About same era as Dion.
Michael Irvin.
Yeah, he is the anti-Michael Irvin. Yeah. I mean, you would have no idea that he was that Ricky Williams, but lovely guy. Right thing happened, so it was fun.
Lovely guy, but a dog on the field. He was so good. Do you remember Ricky Williams?
Yeah, of course.
Miami Dolphins, Ricky Williams.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins.
And he did, temporally, he did break the all-time rushing record playing against, wait for it, A&M.
Yeah. I mean, dog, it's going to be a fun game, Dan. I mean, we're looking forward to it. I'm glad the rivalry's back. I think Michigan's also playing Ohio State this week, which is a huge rivalry game. And it's somewhat similar. Last year, Ohio State lost to Michigan, but they won the national championship. And all the Michigan fans was like, we don't care that you won the national championship. We beat you. And I have a feeling that Texas may be able to hold this potential victory over their head. If it happens, it's a tough game. It's a really good team. A&M is.
I do have to add the fun fact that in 1975, when I got out of Stratford High School, again, I don't mean to brag, but I was a 2-time outstanding medal shop student. And that was the zenith of my high school career at Stratford. So all my buddies were going to A&M. So I got admitted to A&M and UT. Oh, fun fact, you know what all Aggies and Longhorns have in common? They both applied to the University of Texas. But back then, when dirt was young and it wasn't really hard to get into either school, I was admitted to only two schools I applied to was A&M and UT, and I rolled into College Station because my buddies were going there, and I went to fish camp or whatever the shit that freshman orientation bullshit is. And I was very excited, going to move in, and I enrolled in fish camp or the orientation session, and I went to a senior party, and I looked around at the senior party, and it was a bunch of core turds and women that the 7 women and the 237 men there. Let's just say that none of the women would win a swimsuit contest anywhere, and I decided there ain't no fucking way I'm going to spend 4 years here, dude. This shit is not happening. So I drove my happy ass to Austin, where I remained for the next 4 years.
Shout out to Austin, man. That's a great town. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a fun weekend. I'm gonna FaceTime you at halftime, kind of get a temperature on how you're feeling.
Well, I may or may not answer. We've talked about cartels, of course, on this show.
Yes, we have.
And you know what a real dope ring is, right?
What is a real dope ring?
10 Aggies standing around in a circle.